Jen. Hey, Jen. I don't hear it. All right, Raptors families, welcome back. It's hockey time in Wake Forest. So get up, get big, get loud, and get proud for your Raptors. You got game number 1 of our playoffs coming at you live in just a minute. Facing off first against the Charleston Junior Stingrays. Not sure if we played this team yet. I don't think we played this team yet. They're roughly a 75 in the My Hockey rankings. And Raptors are going to be coming at you with almost a full bench. We got Eli Hernandez on the bench for this game. Raptors are going to feel his absence in this one for sure. We'll see what Coach Flood does here with the lines once we get underway. The Raptors coming into this weekend splitting the contests last weekend and coming away with a flat 22-22-5 record to wrap up the regular season at exactly 500. This will be the only game today. Seemingly the 1 versus 2 seed for a basically a placement game for tomorrow morning's contest. Ironically, the Raptors coming out of the 18U locker room and being here at home are actually the visiting team today. They're the away team coming at you from left to right. Just the opposite of what we're used to when I'm up here in this crow's nest filming these games. So settle in, get you a nice snack and a beverage. Hopefully we'll have some good hockey for you here to start off your big evening. 6:30 tonight, don't forget, Carolina versus Duke. Big basketball game. I got a hunch the Blue Devils are out for revenge. But we'll go one step at a time. Let's focus on this game first. Players from both teams line up for the pre-game handshake as opposed to a post-game. I still haven't figured out exactly when they do this. I'm sure there's a reason. ACHC league game or playoffs or something.
Oh, never mind. No. And he's out now. He's playing. I didn't see him earlier when I was looking.
All right, we're underway. 15 minutes on the clock. I'll fix the clock in just a minute. Slater, soft pass up to Snyder. Snyder, middle of the ice. Gets it over the blue line, shoots it wide of the net. Shabbat picks it up behind the net. Looking to move it out to his point. Now he's got a puck battle in the corner. That one comes out. That's going to be icing on the Stingrays. So 3 15-minute stop clock periods here for this game. Shabbat lines up with Flood on his right. Snyder back behind him to the left. Seguin and Slater back on D. Slater holds the point. He goes down right in front of the Stingrays bench, and they come away with it. Stingrays bring it to the middle. Zone entry to the left. And Seguin with a good pickup there. He picks his pocket, and now we got a 3-on-2 back the other way. Seguin explodes down the right side of the ice. Raptors are all bunched up. No one to pass it to. That one comes out of the zone before Noah Moore gets there. So kind of a wasted opportunity on that 3-on-2 with all the Raptors kind of collapsing in one area, not opening up the whole ice. Bledsoe, Schulteis, Quimby on the ice. We got Moore and White back on D. Moore back into the own zone. Over to Schulteis, one-touch pass up to Bledsoe. Backhand pass back over to Schulteis. Didn't work out for him. And then White pokes it up the ice. That's deflected, no icing. Quimby in the chase. Tries to center one. Pass is picked off by the Stingrays. White with a good hard shot on net, but it sails wide. That one comes all the way out of the zone. Bledsoe blows a tire, loses it, and now we got the Stingrays. Oh, good pressure by White as the Stingrays were setting up, and White was able to pick his pocket. Schulteis, makes a move, loses the puck. Almost had a good shot there, but lost it on the way in. That's going to be icing on the Stingrays. Line 3, looks like Silcott's going to take the face off, as he must have moved up here with the Hernandez injury. So Silcott, Cammers, and Saunders on the ice with Ezel and Jenkins. Stingrays come away with it. Right side of the ice. Jenkins dives, trying to make a poke check. And Russell makes a save. That puck falls right between her legs. And it looks like Silcott kind of reached in there and grabbed it and got it out of the danger zone. And the Raptors struggling to control the puck in the defensive zone. Jenkins throws a hit, and Silcott comes away with it. Silcott skates it out the left side. Passes one up to Cammers. Couldn't get it. Stingrays come away with it. Ezel steps in. Ezel turns and fires one. That deflects just wide to the right of the net. Rebound opportunity. But the goalie falls on it. That's going to be the end of that one, and the Raptors go for a change. Shabbat wins this one forward into the corner. Snyder's there with him. He uses his point. Nice awareness. Slater skates it in. Tries the backhand one. Oh, that one comes away to Snyder, who backhands his own shot on net, which sails wide. And we got the Stingrays coming the other way. Slater holds his ground, throws a hit there, and the Stingrays lose the puck. Seguin back behind the net. Oh, Slater actually goes down going for that puck. Weird deflection there right in front of the net. And now Sega playing that puck in the corner, getting physical. Slater behind the net, kicks it to his blade, looks up to the point and gets it out of the zone. D-to-D pass. Chipped right up into the zone on the right side. Sega in the corner, slings it around. This one's going to make its way over to Snyder. And then Shabbat gets it in the zone. Makes some moves. Left corner by himself around the net. Oh, he had more on the point. He loses it. Stingrays ice the puck. So now, line 2, Schulteis, Bledsoe, Moore, White, and Quimby. Quimby to the point. Moore, he's there. Turns and fires one. That one was on net. And we even screened the goalie. But the goalie somehow made the save. That one comes out to Quimby. I'm not sure that was Bledsoe or Schulteis. One of them found Quimby right in front of the net, and he put it top shelf. So Carter Quimby starts us off with the scoring. Makes this a 1-0 game in favor of the Raptors. 10:30 left in the first. Bledsoe over to Quimby. Line 2 still on. White just over the red line, sends that one deep. No icing. White steps in, keeps that one in the zone. Stingrays in the corner, trying to work it out. This time Schulteis is there. Stingrays back in the corner again. This time White stays back. And the Stingrays enter the zone. They turn and fire one with sails wide. This is probably going to be an icing, although it shouldn't be. Their defenseman there was reaching for that. He just couldn't get there, but I bet many defensemen could have. Oh well, that's what the ref saw. That's going to be icing. Silcott lines up for this face-off. Cammers to his left and Saunders to his right. Ezel and Jenkins on defense. Cammers with the puck, centers it to Silcott. Silcott, middle of the ice, looks up, he's got Saunders. Saunders decides to chip it into the zone. Silcott goes after it. Behind the net, centers one for Cammers. Cammers one, couldn't get the shot off. Silcott finally gets the rebound and sends one on net, then Cammers again. So I like to see that offensive attack by line 3 here. Silcott, 1-on-2, makes a move to the left, turns and backhands one. Good save by the goalie. Good hard shot. Off a backhand by Silcott, saved by the Stingrays. Ezel getting physical on the point, working to keep that puck in the zone. Stingrays are able to get it out eventually. But Ezel steps in and says, nope, I'm coming back that way. Silcott adds pressure. Snyder moves to the right. He's got Silcott to the left. Oh, he loses the puck. Now Silcott has it. He centers one for Shabbat. Shabbat turns and backhands one. Saved by the goalie. Yeah, you can't do that. So Snyder missed the body position on that hit and decided to throw the hit anyway. So he had to lean in and use his stick. That's going to be a cross-check on Snyder. And that's going to give the Stingrays their first power play of the game. I didn't really see that as being an excessively hard hit, but this player is slow to get up. Glad to see he's okay, and he skated off under his own will. So nothing too dirty about that one, just a slight mental miscalculation by Snyder. If you got the hit, throw it. If you don't, let it go. Otherwise, it gets sloppy. Sega in the corner, up to the point. They turn and fire one that sails wide of the net. Now Sega back behind the net. He's got time, he's taking it. He looks up. Quimby takes a hit on the boards, and the Stingrays come back this way. They lose it, and they get it back. Sega flips one up and into the rafters. I think a little bit too much wrist flick on that one, as that puck basically went straight up in the air like fireworks. Right idea though, flip it up out of the zone without icing it. Sega backhands one around to Slater. Slater to Schulteis and Bledsoe now with the puck. He chips it forward to himself. Goalie steps out and plays it, and Bledsoe comes back to the point. Sega wasn't there. That's okay. We're still controlling the puck here on the penalty kill. Wasting time. Schulteis in on the forecheck. Slater steps in to help. Slater controls it into the zone. Turns, fires one. Good attack by Slater as he pinched in and took matters into his own hands. Now we got a 3-on-3. Good poke check by Schulteis. Slater again with the puck. This time he decides to chip it up the ice. Slow rolling puck. That's not going to be icing. And now Bledsoe steps in. Moore grabs it. And Bledsoe's on the forecheck. Cross ice pass. White's going to pick this one up. And White gets over the red line. Good awareness of where he was on the ice. And sends that one right into the zone. Bledsoe. Good pressure. Keeps that puck in the corner. 20 seconds left on the power play for the Stingrays. Stingrays coming up this way. Moore intercepts the pass. Brings that puck into the zone, left side. It's Moore versus 5 Stingrays around the net. And Moore does a good job there, adding pressure and breaking up that neutral zone play. Steps in again. Moore again takes that puck away, gets it over the red line. He's got Schulteis in the middle. That puck was a little bit too much ahead of him. Good stick by White. Stingrays control it. Slow the pace down a little bit. They send it into the zone, but nobody's there to chase. White picks it up. Whoa! Sends a rocket over to Silcott, but Shabbat intercepts it. Now Shabbat jams it up the strong side and loses it right around where Silcott was waiting. I'm going to call a penalty here. This one's going to go against Jenkins. And just as the Raptors get back to 5-on-5 hockey, they're going to give the Stingrays another chance at a power play. So as penalties have plagued this team throughout the season, we're seeing a little bit of that still here in this first period. Snyder up the ice. Stingrays defenseman lost his stick. Shabbat comes away with it. Makes a move to the middle. Snyder is there to poke it into the corner for Shabbat. Shabbat looks at his options. He goes cross ice to Ezel. Ezel turns and fires a rocket of a shot that sailed about 2 inches over the crossbar. Good hard shot by Wayne Ezel. Stingrays with the puck. Trying to decide who's going to take it. And they send it up the ice where Snyder is there to pick it up. Let's try this again, Stingrays. There they go. Oh, they lost that one. Good pressure. And Noah Seguin turns and fires one just as he comes into the zone. Takes it all alone. Sails wide of the net, but it was a good hard shot nonetheless. Oh, and there's Bledsoe adding pressure. I like to see the Raptors on their toes like they are this game. You can tell they want this win badly. Seguin behind the net. Decides the backhand one up and out of the zone for Bledsoe. Now Seguin takes it himself. Turns, fires one. Another one just high of the net. Bledsoe in the corner. Reverses the puck. Looks over to Schulteis. That puck goes right to the Stingrays. And they come back this way. Slater with a good reach. He slows them down. 15 seconds left in this power play for the Stingrays. Hey, honey. You get the catch? Now to catch. Sidney White chips it up and out of the ice, out of the zone, nice and easy. And that goes all the way to the goalie. Good clear with 10 seconds left on the penalty kill. And now we're back to full strength hockey. White turns and fires one. Good hard shot. Goes just wide of the net. You can see his brother Logan behind the goalie there. Put his hands on his head like, oh my gosh, that was a good shot. Now Silcott controls it out of the zone. Gets to the end of the right side of the offensive zone, makes a move, brings it to the middle. Moore is there to pick it up and then send it in. Cammers loses the puck in the corner. And we're back this way. Moore picks it up and looks over to White. White, good hands. Turns and sends it back into the offensive zone. Silcott is there in the corner. He centers one for Cammers, but couldn't get a shot off. Silcott now gets it back. He dances behind the net. He looks up. He's got White on the point. If he would just look up there. Yeah, he got stuck playing that puck on his feet, I think. But he had White on the top of the left circle all alone. So full strength hockey, just over 2 minutes left in this first period. We're back to line one. Shabbat with Flood to his right. Stingrays come away with it. Filling up the ice, but Ezel is there to pick it up and send it right back in. Ezel having a great game so far. Stops up again. Ezel on the right, sends it right back in. This time Shabbat wasn't out of the zone yet, so that's going to be offsides. So that's coming all the way back down. Shabbat. Jenkins up to Flood. Flood centers one back to Shabbat. Shabbat loses it. Schneider's there to help him out. Schneider picks it up, turns and fires one low, but it goes just to the right of the net. Good back check by the Raptors. Shabbat comes away with it. He's got it behind the net. Yeah, they got to look up to their point when they get it in the corner like that. Because just like that last play for Silcott, Shabbat had Jenkins. Offsides. Raptors go for a line change. Bledsoe lines up with Quimby on his left, Schulteis on his right. Sheehan, Slater, D-to-D pass. Quimby pokes it forward to Bledsoe, who sends it in. Schulteis adds pressure, and a puck battle ensues. Slater stepped up, trying to get that one. Oh, wow. Great save by Emma Russell as Slater pinched up and the Stingrays came away with it. They had a breakaway opportunity, but Emma Russell says no. Quimby over to Schulteis. Schulteis takes advantage of a miscue by the defenseman. Takes a shot. Save made by the goalie. Schulteis gets his own rebound, but he couldn't jam it in. That goes right into the pads of the goalie for another save, and then the goalie falls on it. Just under a minute here in the first period. I'm gonna let the clock run a little bit to get caught up. There's about 39 seconds left. Quimby in the corner, adds pressure, and Bledsoe comes away with it, but he goes down, sends one in for White. White steps up and uses his shinies to deflect that pass toward the net. Quimby steps back to help out on defense. Good job by Carter Quimby, good awareness. White back in position. He turns and fires one toward the net. We got a bouncing puck right in the middle. And Bledsoe comes away with it, makes a move. But that's going to do it for period number 1. Raptors on top, 1-0.
Absolutely do it. Any water? That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Good job, guys. Give it up. Give it up.
Line 3 starting out the second period. Silcott with Cammers and Saunders. White and Moore back on defense. Moore with the puck. Loses it. Stingrays coming in. Good reach by White to break up that play, and White throws a hit on the boards. Oh, the Stingrays are able to backhand one right toward the net, and Russell makes the save up against the post. Then they reverse it and do the exact same thing. Another save by Russell. Right side, defensive zone faceoff. Silcott wins it back to Moore. Bouncing puck. Uh-oh. Great job by Moore to step in as that puck was in a dangerous location on the ice, and their right wing stepped in to try to hammer it home. Silcott centers one, looking for looking for Saunders. That puck doesn't make it through traffic. Shot sails wide. White with the puck. Loses it. Oh! Wow. Not very often that White loses that puck in the corner. Somehow they came away with it, and they were able to find an attacker right in the middle of the net. And they went bar down to make this a 1-1 hockey game. Ezel finds Snyder. Snyder, right side of the ice. Transitions. Looks back to the point. He's got Ezel. Ezel turns and sends one right back to Snyder, who tries a one-timer from a really tough angle. Now we got Soden finally utilizing Soden. I haven't seen him with the puck much today. I like that shift. They're using their points. Good poke check by Ezel just in time to make that offsides. Shabbat. Back to Soden. Flood comes away with it. Flood on the left. Centers one. Actually points one into the corner. And we got Shabbat. Uh-oh. That's going to go, I think, against Snyder. That'll be his second penalty of this game. And give the Stingrays their third power play. That's roughing. That'll come all the way down into our defensive zone. Bledsoe wins it back to Soden. He goes cross ice. Great clear by Soden. As that puck settles nice and gingerly in the offensive zone. Soden now. Again, he backhands this one over to Bledsoe. Stingrays step up though. They keep it in the zone. Uh-oh. They turn and fire one. So as the Stingrays added pressure on the point, though, they came away with it and were able to skate it right into Emma Russell. Great save. And a hot hand by Russell. Now we have Seguin Slater back on defense. Still line two on the ice. Schulteis, Bledsoe. Slater with the puck. Sends it up to Schulteis. Schulteis chips it back up to Slater. That was about waist high though. Kind of tough to catch that pass. Bledsoe steps up. Intercepts that pass. Slater's back on D now. And sends it up the ice. Stingrays trying to control the puck in their offensive zone. Bledsoe adds pressure. And with that hit by Bledsoe, there's no penalty, but they have a player down for sure in the corner of the ice. Kind of interesting when they make that call. I mean, I get it. We got an injured player. But Raptors had the puck and they had momentum. And they were in the process of entering the zone. It's youth hockey. I guess you don't want to play too long with someone down. And it looks like he's having a hard time getting up anyway. So good call by the refs. And he's up. We're going to give put the face-off here just outside the Raptors offensive zone. Raptors still on a penalty kill for about 38 seconds. Shabbat lines up to take this one. He's got Quimby now with him, but he wins it back to Slater on the right. Slater chips it up into the zone. Quimby is there, pokes it back behind the net. They try to rim this one around. Oh, Sega doesn't step up. He had one of those stay on, get off moments. Stay on, get off, stay on, get off. And he decided to get off. That gave them a chance with momentum on the right side. They skated it all the way in. Another save made by Russell. Shabbat. Stingrays, D-to-D pass. They turn and fire one 5 feet over the net. And Seguin pokes it up the ice and goes for it himself. Love to see that from a defenseman on a penalty kill. Great hustle. 5-on-5 hockey. Shabbat, left side of the zone. He's got hands. He's controlling it. Gets behind the net. Looks up to his point. He's got Slater. He turns and fires one low. That deflects just wide of the net. Jenkins now takes his turn. Good hard shot. Saved into the corner. Quimby in the corner. Centers one. Goalie puts his stick out. Uh-oh. Slater steps in. Misses the puck, and we got a breakaway going the other direction. Thank goodness that Stingray player whiffed. But now we got Bledsoe with his own breakaway opportunity. Oh! He had the whole net and gets it just about 2 inches wide of the net. So a strategic opportunity on a change there for the Raptors. Turning into a breakaway right after the Stingrays breakaway. Bledsoe sends it up the ice. Stingrays. Offsides. I think the Raptors got a little lucky there that number 8 whiffed on that breakaway because he had plenty of space and plenty of time. Emma played it well, but he didn't even get a shot off. Here's the referee kicking a mouth guard over to the bench. He doesn't want to pick it up. He's gonna make the coach pick it up. I ain't touching that nasty thing. I'm not even sure it was theirs. Doesn't matter, I guess. Shot from outside the zone. Russell makes a glove save. We're gonna let the clock run here for just a couple of seconds to get caught back up. 9:47 left in the second. Still a 1-1 game. Great job by Quimby, putting himself in position to keep that puck on our end of the ice. But we have a couple Raptors offsides. So that's going to stop play as White chips it in. White and Moore back on defense. Line 3 now, Silcott, Saunders, and Cammers on the offensive side of things. Silcott with the faceoff. Moore is going to come away with this on the right side. Brings it into the zone. Shoots one, and Silcott is there to gobble up a rebound, but the goalie makes a nice save. Silcott looks back over to White. I think he's going to try to push this one back to him. He does. White turns and shoots one. Silcott reaches in for that deflection, but it goes wide of the net. Now we got a bouncing puck right in front of the net. Saunders backhands one right toward the net. And then again, this time for Cammers. Cammers with a one-timer and a good save. Now White with the rocket. That sails wide of the net. Moore on net, goes wide. White again, this time turns and fires one. Good save by the goalie as that one was actually on net. Now we got the Stingrays coming back this way. They lose it and White picks it up and sends it up for Cammers. Cammers doesn't get there in time, but Stingrays do, so no icing. Good pressure there by White and Moore working together to fend off that attack, and they're going to ice the puck. So with that, Soden and Ezel back on defense, and line 1 back on the ice. Shabbat, Flood, and Snyder. Soden, the general, behind the net, looks up. He's got Flood Flood's got plenty of time and space. Sends it over to the middle. Snyder picks it up. Drops it for Shabbat. Shabbat drops it for Ezel. Ezel turns and fires one. Good shot, misses the net. Soden centers one, but the Stingrays pick it up. Ezel, this time up to Flood. Flood centers one over to nobody. Soden hustles in though. Snyder is able to keep the zone just for a second. And then he finds Soden on the left side. Back on sides, Soden in the middle. Sends it just wide of the net. Now the Stingrays. Coming this way. 2-on-3. They send one for Russell, and she gloves that one down. All right, we got Schulteis, Bledsoe, Quimby on the ice. Slater, Seguin. Slater chips it up to the point. They hold the point. Schulteis steps in. Now we got Bledsoe looking for Quimby cross ice. That pass is intercepted. That's offsides. They didn't call it. And the Stingrays trying to set something up behind the net. Slater comes away with it. Schulteis, one-touch pass to Quimby. Quimby, middle of the ice. 2-on-2, makes a move over to Schulteis. Good hard shot by Schulteis. That one goes high. Bledsoe to Slater. Slater back to Bledsoe. Makes a move. Takes a hit in the corner. Takes a hit behind the net, actually. And then the Stingrays chip this one out of the zone. Seguin over to Slater. Slater takes it himself. Middle of the ice. Turns and fires one. Deflected just wide to the right. Stingrays with speed. They're able to bring it up the ice on the right side and send it in. Seguin is there. Middle of the ice. Great job by Seguin stepping up and intercepting that pass. But Quimby was there, which made it hard for him to skate it out of the zone. They got jammed up a little bit, but finally they chip it up and out of the zone. Bledsoe now takes a big hit in the middle of the ice, but the other player goes down. Slater sits on the puck. Both teams battle for it. It's loose on the corner. Stingrays center one, but Bledsoe picks it up. Schulteis up to Quimby. Stingrays send it back in the zone where they have an offsides player. Good hustle from both teams at this point in the game. A couple of penalties, but overall a pretty clean game. Sokot working with Cammers. Jenkins comes away with it, brings it into the zone. And Stingrays ship it up the ice to themselves. Moore hustles back. Stingrays control the puck. Cammers adds pressure. Sokot comes away with it, but Cammers was just barely offsides. Sokot wins it back to Moore. Moore, right side of the ice. Turns and fires one. Paddle save by the goalie. Moore steps in. Centers one. Goalie makes the save and gobbles up that puck. No rebound opportunities. At the 4-minute mark here in the second period, Shabbat centers one. Nobody's there. Flood was a little bit deep. And now Moore sends it back in. Ooh, the call on that. Offsides. Shabbat lines up. Moore and White back on defense. Moore sends it into the zone. Snyder centers one. And Flood right in front of the net. Turns and fires one. And Caleb Flood, coming off of that shot from Shabbat, picks up a rebound and then buries it. That's going to make this a 2-1 game in favor of the Raptors late in the second period. Everything on net, because you just never know. Great goal. Shabbat, right side of the ice. He's got Flood in the middle. Takes it behind the net. Looks up to White on the point. White turns and fires one. Wow, this one was on net, but it was just a little high. I think the goalie even ducked to get out of the way of that hard shot. White again, this time on the left side, finds Quimby. Quimby pokes it into the zone, back behind the net. Schulteis on the chase. This goes out to the point. Snyder has got White. White, middle of the ice, turns and fires another one. Another save by the goalie. Soden, good hustle back. Gobble up that puck while his team goes for a change and then get it out of the zone. Blocker saved by Russell into the corner. White backhands one up to the point. Now the Stingrays control it. Left side of the zone. Looking for options. And Quimby comes away with it. Quimby with a poke check and Quimby with a breakaway. One on no. He turns. Oh, good hard shot. But that puck gets deflected by the goalie's blocker just wide of the net. Quimby, take two. Good hard shot. This one gets deflected up and over the net. So I love to see that offensive attack by Quimby with that poke check leading to a breakaway. And then two offensive zone opportunities back to back for him. We keep that up and those are going to fall. Two minutes left in the second period. Silcott takes this face-off. Comes back out of the zone. Ezel is back to chase. Stingrays add pressure, and they come away with it. Good poke check by Soden. Soden chips it up to Saunders. Saunders backhands one up to Silcott. Silcott's got Cameras to the left. Sends it over to him. Cameras now. Got a bouncing puck. Couldn't settle it, and the Stingrays come away with it. Ezel now. Looking up for Silcott. The pass gets deflected. Saunders chips it forward. And now we got the Stingrays with a good hard shot that pings off of the right post. Soden works to freeze that puck in the corner. Silcott chips it up to Saunders, but he loses it on the point. And the Stingrays center one. Russell comes away with it. So we're just under the 1 minute mark left in the second period here. As line 3 skates off and line 1 hops on. Ezel and Soden stay in place. Shabbat with Snyder to his right, Flood to his left. Stingrays control it, right side of the ice. They turn and fire one. That gets past Russell to make this a 2-2 game. So the Raptors gave that man just a little bit too much room on the right side of the offensive zone. We'll have to go back and look at that tape and see what happened. Here they come again. This time Flood comes away with it and sends it up to Shabbat. Shabbat, 35 seconds, left side of the ice, takes a hit. Stingrays come away with it. Seguin adding pressure. And now Shabbat with it. Shabbat on the right side, offensive zone. 16 seconds left in the period. Loses it behind the net. 10 seconds left in the period. Flood sends one right into the middle to the Stingrays. Stingrays come away with it. And Slater and Seguin work together to collapse on that attack and come away with the puck. Raptors faithful. You wanted it, you got it. Playoff game, 1 period to go. 2-2 game. We'll see which team has the most legs in the third here. Which team wants this more? They've been working hard all season to get to this point. Let's see how we do. Great shot opportunity there by the Stingrays. Good save by Russell. Second shot sails wide. And now we got Quimby hustling down the ice. Chips it over to Schulteis, but tough to catch a bouncing pass. Bledsoe now backhands one toward the middle. Looks to his point. Cross ice. Seguin turns, fires one. Save made by Russell, or by the goalie. One on two. Stingrays send one into the corner. Slater grabs it behind the net. Brings it all the way coast to coast. Gets it into the zone and fires one. Good hard shot. Saved by the goalie. Socott line back on the ice with Cammers and Saunders. White and Moore back on D. Socott gives White the head nod. I think he's going to try to put this up to left D. Falls short. Sidney comes away with it anyway. He chips it into the slot. Now we got the Stingrays with the puck. White adds great pressure and breaks up that opportunity. Cammers has Silcott. Silcott brings it into the zone, right to left, turns and backhands one over to Saunders, but that pass is intercepted. Saunders and Moore got jammed up on that one. And the Stingrays get it out of the zone. White comes away with it. Loses it back behind the net, gets it back, and then Cammers is able to deflect that pass up and out of the zone. Cammers over to Silcott. Silcott chips one over to Saunders. Saunders sends one right into the slot. Silcott couldn't quite get there, but White turns and pinches in and keeps that puck live. White again. This time, Cammers caught offsides. Nice offensive attack by line 3 in this game. So now Shabbat in line 1 back on the ice. Just outside the offensive zone. Defensive zone, sorry. And the Stingrays are able to make an entry on the right side with the bouncing puck. Snyder pinches in and comes away with it. He reverses that puck up to the right point, but the Stingrays get there. They turn and send one in, nice and low. Emma Russell makes a great save. Shabbat takes this face off. Oh, great shot block by Ezel as their defenseman goes to rip one, and now Flood brings the puck into the zone. Snyder turns and fires one. That puck falls right in front of the goalie. Shabbat is there. Makes a nice backhand rebound attempt. But the goalie makes another great save. So number 88 here, Taylor, for the Stingrays, doing a great job between the pipes. Bledsoe loses this one. Soden comes away with it. Right side of the ice. Brings it back to the middle, centers one. Schulteis sends a backhand in. Save made by the goalie. And now we got a 2-on-2, 3-on-2 coming back this way. Good hard shot. Save made by Russell. Stingrays with the puck in the corner. Bledsoe steps up, takes it away, and chips it up to Schulteis. Schulteis has Quimby. Quimby in the middle. Goes side to side. That could have been an offsides there on Schulteis. No call. Bledsoe centers one. Quimby comes away with it. Quimby looks cross ice to Ezel. But the Stingrays pick it up, and now they've got a breakaway. Another save made by Russell. Emma Russell standing on her head here this afternoon, making some great saves on a couple of really good breakaway opportunities by the Stingrays. Jenkins with the puck. Lets Bledsoe get back on sides. This one deflects right into the slot. Stingrays up to the point. Jenkins turns, sends one in. Looking for that bouncing puck to settle right in front of Bledsoe's stick. But it doesn't. It goes behind the net, and the Stingrays send it out of the zone. Jenkins backhands one over to Silcott. Silcott. He's got Bledsoe to the right. Oh, he chips one right into the middle. A little late on that pass, and Bledsoe was already kind of behind the net. Now Silcott goes into the corner. He shoulder checks and then centers one. Oh, great look over to Schulteis. Schulteis deflects that one right into the goalie. But that was a beautiful backhand pass. Schulteis, I like to see that. Really good scoring opportunity there for the Raptors. Now, Silcott, Saunders, Cammers. Stingrays, 3-on-2. Seguin steps up. He tries to deflect, chip it out of the zone, but doesn't get it all the way there. So now Slater loses it. Saunders picks it up. Silcott comes away with it. Silcott, right side of the ice. Takes it himself, goes to the right, shot. Good shot, saved by the goalie. Silcott's got Slater, Seguin back on D. This one tries to win it over, I think, to Seguin. But Stingrays come away with it. Now we got the Stingrays centering one. They couldn't settle it. Good shot blocked by Silcott. Saunders on the chase. Get on it. There you go. Silcott on the forecheck now. And adds just enough pressure to make them make a bad decision. Seguin. Oh. Sends it up to Silcott. Silcott chips it into the zone. Kind of whiffed on a clear into the corner. I think Silcott's a little winded. Yeah, he's going to the bench now. He's been on the ice for a good long shift. Snyder, Shabbat, Flood back on the ice. Oh, there's a big hit by Flood. That's going to be a penalty. As Caleb Flood goes to the box here. I think once again the issue there with the elbow being up high on those hits. More. Raptors trying to get it out of the zone. White. Snyder working together, still couldn't get it out. And the Stingrays control it. They center one. Snyder steps in, chips it up and out of the zone. Shabbat goes after it. Lazy play by the Stingrays. White comes away with it. Tried to push it into the corner, but the Stingrays are there. Here come the Stingrays, 1-on-2. More. White steps in, takes that one away, picks his pocket. Turns and fires one, just wide of the net. Shabbat now with the puck in the corner. Raptors still on the penalty kill. He loses it, and the Raptors retreat. They go for a change. Moore steps in, cuts off that passing lane. Stingrays chip it into the corner. They go for a change themselves. Wake up, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Blake. Over to Bledsoe. Quinn puts it just behind the net. And the Stingrays, 30 seconds left on their power play. Try to control it up the ice. Bledsoe says no. He brings that back into the zone on the left side. Turns and fires a rifle of a shot off the chesty of the goalie and deflects up and over the net. Now Schulteis battles right in front of the net for the rebound, but the goalie makes the save. Play will stop here with about 10 seconds left on this power play for the Stingrays. And just over 6 minutes left in this contest. Ezel steps in. Stingrays come away with it. Left side of the ice. They center one. Soden is there. Oh, that puck gets deflected. And then a save made by Russell. And an open net opportunity for the Stingrays, but they couldn't settle the puck. Quimby in the corner takes the hit. Still battling for the puck. Back to full strength hockey here. Stingrays up the left side. Soden is there twice to poke that puck up and over the blade of the left wing to slow down their momentum. There's going to be an offsides here, and line 3 takes the ice. Silcott with Cameras and Saunders wins it forward. Jenkins comes away with it. He's got Cameras. Cameras, offensive zone. Turns and centers one for Silcott, just a little bit off. Saunders then turns and sends another one right into the middle, but they couldn't settle it or get a shot off. So now Cameras again looks for Silcott. Silcott this time decides I'm going to get a shot off, and he does. Save made by the goalie. Silcott battling behind the net. Centers one. Oh, good look. Ezel with the puck, left side of the ice. Sends it in deep. Jenkins steps in on the right side. Throws a big hit. Holds his ground. Centers one for Silcott. Cameras turns and sends one. Oh, Saunders was there, but that puck was bouncing. He couldn't get the shot off. Again, line 3. Lots of offensive zone presence for line 3. And scoring opportunities. Now we got Shabbat screaming up the ice. Silcott still on the ice. He gets it over there. Oh no, he reverses it for Shabbat. And then goes for a change. Good hard shot by the Stingrays. Russell with the save. We're approaching the 4-minute mark here in the third period of this first playoff game. Line 1, Shabbat, Snyder, Flood. 3-on-2. Shabbat brings it to the middle. Turns, makes a move. Oh, loses it just before he's able to settle it and get a shot. So a 3-on-2 with Shabbat taking it all the way in. Wow. The Stingrays with a really tough angle shot. Somehow gets behind Russell. That was not expected at all. And hopefully the Raptors can recover quickly from that. Keep their mojo. And get another goal back here. Like I said on that Flood goal, put it on net. Goal is a goal is a goal, right? I don't think Emma was ready or expecting that one. Bledsoe centers one for Quimby, but the Stingrays come away with it. Offside. Bledsoe lines up for this faceoff. Stingrays poke it into the corner. Bledsoe winds up to reverse that puck, but he whiffs on that pass. White comes away with it. White barrels up the ice, sends it over to Schulteis, who lets it go for Bledsoe. Bledsoe centers one. Oh! Schulteis was there, but so were the Stingrays. White skates through this one and loses it on his feet. Stingrays, another shot, save by Russell. Defensive zone faceoff. Silcott wins it up to Cameras. He loses it, and we got the Stingrays controlling the puck. They turn and send one across the slot. Cameras comes away with it. Cameras looks over. He's got White. White with the puck. Left side of the ice. Goes all the way in. Centers one. Moore turns and fires one. Oh, couldn't get the rebound. Couple of different opportunities there, but we just couldn't get the puck in the net. And now Cameras looks over to Silcott, but that pass gets intercepted. Lots of passes getting intercepted here. Oh, Stingrays make a move, but lose it, and it goes in the corner. Now White with the puck. Sends it into the point. Their defenseman shoots one. They try to deflect that one into the corner of the net. But Russell makes the save. Line 3 off and line 1 back on. Shabbat. With the puck. Screaming up the ice. He's got Flood on the left. Takes it himself. Centers it. Fires one. That sails just wide of the net. Soden. Left side from the circle. Deflects it. Gets deflected. Shabbat sends one in. Shot blocked. Just over a minute left in this game. That's going to be icing on the Stingrays. And I imagine that the Raptors might call a timeout here. No timeout. And Russell is still in net. Line 2 on the ice. Bledsoe puts it in the corner. Stingrays step up. Actually, Quimby with the puck. He gets it up to the point, but the Stingrays step up and send it down deep for the icing. We are officially at the 1 minute mark exactly. Russell goes to the bench. So we have an empty net and 6-on-5 hockey. Bledsoe, Shabbat, Quimby, Schulteis. Seguin over to Bledsoe. Bledsoe back to Seguin. Slater now, middle of the ice. Turns and fires one. That one goes wide. 48 seconds left in this contest. Bledsoe, along with Shabbat, working behind the net, trying to get possession back. That comes out to the point, but Seguin couldn't settle the bouncing puck. 33 seconds left. Seguin over to Slater. Slater looks up for Shabbat. No, he takes it himself. Slater, right side of the ice. Loses it, and the Stingrays send it all the way down. 20 seconds. Now Seguin with the puck. 15 seconds. Oh, he sends it up the ice. That pass is intercepted. 10 seconds. Slater looks up to Shabbat. Shabbat, 5, 4, 3, 2, shoots. Wide, no goal. Stingrays come away with a victory. And they will get the opportunity to play the easier of the two teams tomorrow morning for the semifinals. Those teams yet to be determined exactly who we're going to be playing. But the Stingrays come away with a victory on this placement game this afternoon. Great hustle and great effort by your Raptors. Playing a good, hard 45 minutes of hockey, all three lines, with good, hard, intense skating. We'll join you all back tomorrow, I think about 9:15, 9:30 a.m., somewhere in the morning, about that time. Until then, have a good night.